After the success of Netflix's true crime anthology Indian Predator last year, rival Prime Video is gearing up to enter the Indian true crime space with the documentary Dancing on the Grave. The documentary is produced by India Today Originals. With its trailer released on April 18 and a premiere date set for April 21, Dancing on the Grave sheds light on the chilling murder of Shari Khalili. Like the fourth Indian Predator season, Karnataka's capital city serves as the location for the Prime original. Now coming to is Dancing on the Grave based on a real story. Here's what we know about it. Dancing on the Grave revolved around the chilling murder of Shakiri Khalili. Shakiri Khalili, born in Chennai and based in Bangalore, was a real estate developer who went missing in 1991. With police and neighbors pointing suspicious finger at her husband, Swami Shraddhananda, the case of disappearance began gaining media coverage. While Khalili went missing in 1991, her case gained traction, or let's say media attention, in 1994, when after a rigorous 3-year-long sting operation, the Karnataka police could get a confession out of the husband. Previously known as Murali Manohar Mishra, Swami Shraddhananda admitted to have murdered his wife. He went on to lead the corpse to her remains that he buried under his own house. Now coming to the God-man angle, why did Khalili marry Shraddhananda? As is evident from his alias, Murali Manohar Mishra became a self-styled godman and even managed to brainwash Khalili. The Muslim real estate developer had earlier married her first cousin and Indian Foreign Service officer Akbar Khalili at the age of 18 back in 1965. The couple met Shraddhananda in 1982 and struck a cordial relationship with the so-called Swami. However, when Akbar temporarily moved to Iran for professional reasons, something came up upon Khalili. Right upon Akbar's arrival, Khalili filed for divorce, and 6 months later, she completely shunned her family and religion to marry Shraddhananda in 1986. And then the wife goes missing, husband lives large. After her second marriage, Khalili continued living in her sprawling bungalow on Bangalore's 81 Richmond Road. The house was shared not just by her new husband, but the 4 daughters she had with Akbar Khalili earlier. While the couple seemed to enjoy a happily married life, frequent scuffles were over the daughters. Finally, it was one of the daughters, Sabha, who took Shraddhananda down. In 1991, when Khalili mysteriously disappeared, Sabha inquired her stepfather only to get blank responses. The daughters continued worrying, but Shraddhananda continued to lead a fancy life at the bungalow. If any suspicious neighbors would ask him about his wife, he would just answer that Khalili has gone on a long vacation. And how were Khalili's remains found? Bothered by her stepfather's relaxed attitude, Sabha sought help of the authorities. She filed a habeas corpus petition at Bangalore's Ashoknagar police station. Even when the police showed up at the Shraddhananda store, he managed to evade their questions, giving the authorities little to no room for arrest. The case ultimately proved to be similar to the Drishyam movies. The only difference is that, unlike the hero, Shraddhananda couldn't get away with burying skeletal remains under his courtyard. With the help from Sabha, the police managed to dig up the house's courtyard only to find a skeleton on a mattress. Shraddhananda finally gave himself up and let the cat out of the bag. It turns out that on April 28, 1991, he laced his wife Steve with sedatives and then buried her alive over a mattress enclosed with a coffin in a pit in the courtyard. 3 years later, when the police found the skeleton, they could find its hand clutching onto a mattress, indicating that she was literally clinging on for dear life while being buried alive. This factor alone contributed to the shock value of the murder. Now coming to why was Khalili killed? Born Shakesi Nizami, the real estate agent, hailed from a wealthy family and was the granddaughter of a former Diwan of Mysore, Mirza Ismail. The motive to kill her was simple. Shraddhananda was after her wealth and property. In 1987, he even got the power of attorney over Khalili's property. Dancing on the Grave, however, promises to offer deeper context behind the murder that the public isn't aware of. Khalili's murder marked as a landmark moment in Indian judicial history, as this was the first case where DNA testing was used. This was also the first case where the exhumation process was recorded on video. Shraddhananda was arrested in 1994 after Khalili's remains were discovered. The trial against him began in 1994, and in 2005 he was sentenced to death by hanging. However, a 2006 appeal caused another judgment in 2008 that sentenced him to life imprisonment. Shraddhananda initially served his sentence in Bangalore Central Prison but was moved to Sagar Central Prison in Madhya Pradesh, as Sagar is where he hails from. In 2022, the 83-year-old pleaded with the Supreme Court to release him, much like how the Rajiv Gandhi killer were set free that year. Having spent 29 years in jail without a single day of parole, Shraddhananda's counsel added that he is suffering from multiple ailments. In the trailer for The Dancing of the Grave, Shraddhananda tells the filmmakers that he is innocent and the case has been one big lie to trap him. And if you want to get more updates on your favorite shows and movies like this, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon.